Welcome back to another Thursday training at the social media store. We are so excited to have you guys with us. We're excited to have everyone here live. This is a training that I've been looking forward to. I've watched this individual build her businesses from scratch, and now she's providing that information to you all. And so the social media store welcomes Somalia Carter, who will be talking about taking it from skill to systems to income. Thank you.
Thank you for that warm welcome, Rob. Um, and welcome to School of Loving Digitals. My name is Somalia Carter. And thank you for being here. Thank you for taking your time out this morning to learn about a little bit about me, a little bit about the niche of obituary graphic design and printing. Um, and thank you, Rob, for the opportunity of being in this beautiful space. Rob and I go back about a decade and a half where we first got on this flight of entrepreneurship. And it looks to me that Rob has reached first class, and I'm extremely proud of you and excited to be here. Before we begin and I start telling you guys about myself, I do have a student here, Ryan. Hi, so I know who you are, but everyone else doesn't. If you could take your time and share your name, where you're from, why you're interested in the obituary business, if you have a business outside of that, what that is, and that's it. You want to go first, Rob? I'm sorry, Ryan. It's ours.
My name is Ryan Allen. I've been designing since I was in high school. I went to South Elective High School, graduated in 2009. Um, mhm. Been doing that since high school. I've been in like the arts kind of world since I was a little kid, about like 10 or 12. So I've been taking pictures and designing and things like that. I currently design a lot of
Your
flyers
speaker.
and oh, I currently design a lot of flyers and a lot of business cards and things like that for. And I've been doing obituaries here and there, and I just want to get better at it as far as the business aspect and grow my business, so I can potentially just not potentially support my family and support something that I love to do. I kind of love to do it, so I kind of want to keep doing it. That's pretty much.
Thank you, Ryan. He's being shy. He's a fantastic graphic designer. He actually teaches me things all the time inside of class. And we have one more, yes, which is a dear friend of mine. Her name is Tiana Richardson, and I would brag all day, but she is a funeral home director. She owns. I'll let you tell who you are. But we actually through networking we met through this industry, and ever since then we've been great friends. So, thank you for coming, Tiana.
Yes, my name is Tiana Richardson. I am a licensed funeral director, also class of '09 Lathrop. Go Chargers. Southfield High, y'all lame. But no, I am a licensed funeral director, but I also own Rich Vending, which is a vending business. I provide vending machines. I also am a coffee supplier within my business as well. So I place vending machines in businesses, manage them, keep them stocked. Um, and with the coffee, I provide coffee to 21 Home Depots within the state of Michigan, none in the Metro Detroit area, unfortunately. Also, I am a notary public, so I also have a loan signing business, mobile notary business as well.
Thank you, Tiana. Tiana has been supporting me through this journey, and I'm extremely grateful for her. She taught me a lot about customer service, and before I got into the customer service side of the funeral industry, I was just a graphic designer, and so it was a lot to learn how to deal with families while they were grieving. Because I was used to being, first of all, behind the computer, IT geek, and I wasn't used to dealing with such sensitive people, such sensitive situations. So she helped me out a lot. Thank you, girl. So just a little bit about me. My name is Somalia Carter, and I've been a graphic designer for about 15 years. And I started Loving Digitals in 2017. So prior to establishing and making it legitimate, I was just designing marketing materials, flyers, websites. I was also certified. I am a business certified analyst. And what I did was I just combined my IT tech experience with my graphic design skills, and I created, hence the name, Loving Digitals. So my entire process is digital, which is now in 2026. It's 15 years ago. I was way ahead of time. So, um, certified business analyst, graphic designer, agency owner. Moving forward, Loving Digitals, I have designed thousands of obituaries over these years. I have had the opportunities to work directly with funeral homes in the city, outside of the city, outside of the state of Michigan, and I've built relationship with funeral homes, and that is one of the most important things. Well, yeah, one of the most important things to sustain in this business. So, I've been through building my brand and through building great relationships, I've been able to sustain. So I'm very grateful. I've also had an opportunity to invest in printers, and I've had a brick and mortar. I've had multiple printers, and that was a whole different side of the game as well. And so, moving forward, I'm here today as a mentor, teaching aspiring graphic designers how to capitalize on this niche. Okay, so, and where I'm doing that is on school.com. It is the school is called, my school is called School of Loving Digitals, abbreviated SOLD. And in that, in that course, I do teach an obituary masterclass, and I also teach a class where it's called Systems Over Hustle, where I teach entrepreneurs who don't necessarily have to be in the niche of obituary design and print, but they just need assistance with organizing their businesses from from intake to delivery. A lot of us, we're hustling. We got these side hustles. And in my experience dealing with the community, dealing with businesses that are opening and closing, that there's somewhere in our business structure that we're missing. It's something that we're missing. It's a lot that we're missing. And that is building a system, that's building structure. And that is the other thing that I teach and sold, unsold. All right. So, I'm trying to multitask, guys. Work with me. Yeah, that'd be great. Because I'm like, we used to multitask, and I have children, but this is new. So, want to make sure I'm on the correct screen. So, the obituary business overview, always in demand, high trust industry, requires professionalism, customer service, and structure. In my experience, especially during COVID, this is one of the businesses that was able to make it through. A lot of businesses were not able to, because unfortunately death is inevitable and there's nothing we can do about it. And the industry that we're in is needed. And so we'll be in demand 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. A year. It definitely requires a level of customer service and professionalism. Again, as we're dealing with delicate families, customer service is. I wrote a book I wrote a book for Black entrepreneurs specifically, because we get the connotation that we don't have customer service, or just people have bad experiences with us. And it's called The Black Code. It's on Amazon Audible for anybody interested. But in that book, I teach how through this experience with the obituaries, I teach how to deal with customers. I don't think a lot of us we don't go to school. We're just out here starting businesses and don't know how. So if we want to keep these clients and if we want satisfied customers, this is something that we have to do. We have to learn how important it is to provide a great customer service experience for our clients. Oh, click that for me. Thank you, darling. I'm still trying to do this. Okay, so what the Obituary Masterclass covers is we do teach every Monday. We teach obituary design. We teach Canva and Photoshop, printing and production, where I break down the tier of printers that you should begin with and the extent of printers that you should have. Um, a lot of graphic designers that's interested in this niche, that's one of their favorite things. They like, I want to get printers immediately. And I'm like, okay, well, let's start somewhere first. And so I teach them what kind of equipment to get so they don't make the same mistakes that, I did. We discuss pricing, rush fees, and policies. And this niche pricing is, you have to stay away from being emotional because it's business. And when you're pricing for obituaries, because you want to be delicate with the families, you also want to work with them with the packages. But you also have to understand that you're using a creative skill and you're using your time and you're using your resources, and that you deserve to get paid what what you're working for, your worth. So always know your value. Networking and marketing, as I discussed how important networking is in this niche, it is not an easy business to market because, you just don't see a lot of advertising for funeral homes. You don't see a lot of advertisement for headstones, and you don't see a lot of advertisement for obituaries. And so in the class, I pretty much teach how to be delicate, but at the same time, be authentic. Be relatable to people on social media, your followers, and the importance of, networking with everyone in the niche. There's no reason why you're going to pop up shops with people that's selling food and nail items here. Unfortunately, those people are alive and great. That's not your niche, So I teach that in the class also. So equipment, funeral home relationships, workflow, and delivery, the most important aspect and what I preach consistently in my class. So let's talk numbers. And this this isn't meant to be morbid. Again, it's just an honest number. There are 3.4 million deaths per year, and in the United States, that's where that numbers come from. And whether they're using you for this particular service, they're going to need to use someone. There's not going to be a service where small or big, from prayer card to the popular magazine obituaries, to where they won't need us. And how many times have someone passed in your experience where there wasn't a service? And so out of 3.4 million people, there is a very small average, a small percentage that you need to be successful in this business. Mm-hmm. So that percentage is 1%. 1%, which is so far away from it's 100 or 50. 1% is such a small percentage. You don't need to go viral for that 1%. You really just have to be a great graphic designer. You really have to, and nowadays actually with Canva and templates, you don't even have to be a great graphic designer. You really just have to have a flawless system. Be empathetic. Make sure that your product at the end, that your family is satisfied. And that's it for the 1%. As we continue to do these numbers, there is a certain package that, in my class, we actually go over these packages where we break down exactly how much you should be charging for different products and everything. And so the minimum package that we have, me, Somalia, and I encourage my students to have is around $250, which is it's very small. It's not a lot of it's not a lot of work. It's not a lot of but it's worth it. It's worth it. So, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So this is $250. Now you can create your packages how you want. Mine is just a small obituary, but you can add things to it to be equivalent. So it's equivalent to 250 or 300 or whatever. But this is the smallest package, and it's just a four-page obituary. A four-page obituary, so it's not a lot. In this particular one, um, as you can see, the family is allowed to put pictures. There's a story of the deceased. The front information, rest in peace to this young man, and then the back. So that and maybe a bookmark. That's up to you, or a button or something small. You can put in a package for $250. And so when we add that up, 250 times 34,000, that number is 8.5 million. Excuse me. So, yeah, that number is 8.5 million. So 1% of the sales of the 1% of the deaths in this country that we live in, if you decide to be a part of this industry, you have access only using 1% of that to make $8 million a year. So there's plenty of room for us. There's plenty of room for us all. I tell my students, it's enough. If we take that to 2%, that doubles. That goes to that next number. So just 1% is enough for us. And then the next point I have is the profit margin. In this business, there's a huge profit margin because it's based off a service. The majority of it is you designing, and the print aspect is on the back end. You don't even have to print. You don't have to have a printer in this business. You can actually just have the design skills, and have a local printer in your area. Build that relationships with print partners. I call them my print brothers and sisters because we look out for each other. In this industry, unfortunately, we are the last part of the process in the funeral arrangements. And so everything is taken care of first. They want to make sure the casket is done, the funeral is done, and then they wait and say, "Oh no, the obituaries, and it's 2 days." Then they give us 2 days to do it, right? So with that being said, the profit margin, get back to my point, the profit margin is around 70% because of that design aspect, and you not having to just including that design, the majority of that profit in your design. Again, there is a go to the next one for me. Yeah. So, again, as you can see, because I'm a visual person, if you can see, this graph shows the very small percent of clients, 1%. And as you can see, how big in comparison the annual revenue is, right? So we got 34,000. That's one out of 100 families is what we need to get. So imagine 100 people passing away and need our services. We only need one of them. Okay. And that's it. Yes, please. So, moving on, because I built this business for 15 years off of mistakes and creating a seamless workflow. And so, alternatively, I have this Systems Over Hustles class as well. And this book is called From Hustle to Structure. It is a workbook that we all have here today. And inside of this book, there are questions there's a system that I created just in case you have a business that's not obituaries. There are questions in there that will make you realize if entrepreneurship is something that you're willing to take time to do. You'll be able to acknowledge if you're even passionate really about being an entrepreneur. Um, so after this, we'll go over some questions. This is inside the book. But what's inside of the System Over Hustles course is a 3-step framework. Packaging offers, where we go over whatever service or product you have. We go over packaging offers, pricing for growth, client experience and fulfillment, and scaling without burnout. A lot of business, unfortunately, are one-man shows, and they try to play every role in the business, and you can do that. You will be stagnant. It won't, you definitely need help. You can't do everything on your own. But if you are in a situation where we've all started and we've had to, it's important that you do build a system so you won't be stressed out. And then as you grow, that is what prepares you, having that in place. So thank you. So the framework is to reframe the mindset, find the real problem, and fix the problem with structure. Just like anything just like any problem outside of business that you want to fix, you have to establish what's wrong. It's just how things work. And so the first thing we do in this course is we ask ourselves these questions, which I have here. And I'll just ask a few so you can see what I'm talking about. Some of the questions you should ask yourself is, the number of hours I work should directly determine how much money I make. As an entrepreneur, that is not the mindset that you have, because those two things do not align. For one, you might not make as much money as you feel like you deserve. That's just not how it goes. However, the benefit of not having that mindset, that money does not align with time, is that you don't have a cap on your money. You don't have a cap on your income. You're able to be as successful as you want to be, right? But if you do have that mentality, then honestly, you probably should just stay working. That's just the truth, right? And then another question would be, list 3 things you currently spend time on in your business, because in implementing a seamless process, there are some things that you're going to have to automate. There's some things that you're going to have to delegate, and that's the only way that you're going to grow. Another question was job thinking versus entrepreneur thinking. 4 things that, if you say these things: I should do it myself to save money, I'll wait until I'm more confident, I just need to work harder, or I don't want to waste money. So those are questions. I won't go elaborate too much, but those are some questions in the workbook that we have here. And we go over all those things in that class. So the first thing, reframing your mindset. Hustle equals effort without structure. Structure equals decisions made once. If the hustle worked, we'd all be rich, right? I know a lot of people who have side hustles, and we're not, a lot of them have not been successful, and there's a reason for that. And time and money do not align. The second part of that, is symptoms versus real problems. Symptoms are burnout, underpricing, inconsistency, and chaos. And the real problems are no intake system, no pricing structure, no workflow, and no boundaries. So your business needs therapy also. And your business has to have certain things in place to prevent the burnout, to prevent losing money when you're underpricing your services, and to keep the client flow going, inconsistency in the way people are experiencing your company, and that's why they don't come back. And of course, chaos, when you have employees that don't get along, and that you potentially, hurt your business because your manager is, not a good manager, or just things like that where you have to really dig deep and create those boundaries in your business like you do for yourself. And then the next one is fixing the problem. This means when you fix that problem, this means that you aren't making a choice, because most times when you're making choices, you're like, should I? And then you're trying to make reasons why you should or shouldn't. But when you make decisions, that's something concrete. It's either a yes or no. I think we talked about this, Ryan, yesterday or the other day. And I was like, you just got to do it. Just decide to do it. That's it. And the result, what systems create predictable workflow, predictable income, predictable energy. Hustle, react, structure, repeats, and systems create freedom. And that is the truth. So this is the school. All of this is what I teach in both classes, Systems Over Hustle and the Obituary Business Master Class. And that ends it. And I just want to again thank Robert for having me. I vouch for him 100%. Someone actually just called me and asked about the services that he offered here, and I was like, look, me and Rob go back. We have been on this train a long time, and I've also used his marketing services. He is a marketing guru, and his team, the way his team is organized, I recommend you to work with him if you need any marketing advice. And if you haven't made it to the social media store, come on down. And so you can find us, and you can find me. We have around 28 students so far in the class. I just established the class in December, so we're brand new. However, we are growing, and the price is going up. We are growing, but I guarantee you my students are learning something about this niche that, not to toot my horn, that that I probably, me and a few other people would only be able to teach. So we're growing, and I welcome you if you're interested in learning about the niche of obituaries, graphic design and print agency. And that's all. Thank you guys for coming and listening. That was right on time. Okay, I'm done, Roberto. I know you're working. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yes. What? I didn't think. What? I'm sorry. I didn't even ask if you guys had questions. I know you don't got no questions. I know I talk to him all day, every, and I know I get on his nerves. So yeah. Did you have questions? Oh. Okay. Mhm. 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 No, I am on a content class, which actually I'm on a wait list because they're very expensive, about 5,000 a month. I am on. I'm on a few other classes. I'm on classes that teaches you how the school works, how to capitalize in the school if you have your own course. So I mean, so far so good for me. School is based on like a community-based network platform. So it's similar. How it works is Facebook. It has the feed. You can comment. You can share your information. You can DM, all that good stuff. Like it's the same. It functions the same way. But their idea is for everyone in your course to communicate with each other, right? And so there are certain classes that I have that are locked, and even for myself, everyone has a certain level in there, and so they don't have access to many of my classes if they're on level 1 and 2 because they aren't participating. And so that's how it's structured. Mhm. Mhm. So some classes are free. My class is not. The platform actually costs to, yeah, it's for you to provide to have your own class. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No. No, and but you have ways, you have different tiers and different ways that you charge your students, your mentees. And so you can have informational schools where that's just that. And that kind of helps get the momentum going, and so they move into discords, and then they move into the actual school platform where they charge you monthly. But the way they have it is really cool. You can definitely have different tiers, monthly, annually, free trials, all that good stuff. Hmm. That's what, well, the whole thing. So even when I go to another class and I go to their page, they have their students, they have profiles. I can go to their profile, I can DM them. Same thing for me. I can see the level they're on. They have a little bio similar to social media, all that good stuff. So it's really similar. So I say that to say it's not hard to actually jump all the way into it and not be uncomfortable. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. You can literally have as many as you like because they're even if you wanted to tier them off, as far as like how we do or whatever. Because it starts at $10 a month for you to present your school, or 100. It literally goes from 10 to 100. But of course you get more access to different things with the platinum. Yeah. I haven't even purchased that one yet. My school is $10 a month. It's nothing because it's so small right now. I only have like almost 30 students. Hmm. That's what I pay. It's only 10 or 100. Yeah. So right now my tiers it started at $15 or $15. And my students, they were like, "This is crazy. Like the information that you're giving is crazy for this price." And I was like, "Okay, y'all gonna keep saying that, making me feel bad." So now it starts at 50, and then I have another tier of 150 where there's more access to me, and there's more 101s, and there's a 3-month program that's about $1,500, a little less than $1,500. Which is really, it's intense, it's extensive. It's actually, if you have a brick and mortar where I'm coming and I'm using those business analyst skills and helping you create workflows and all that stuff directly. Yeah, my students have started school, and they've called me like, "How do you feel about me starting a school? I got this going on." I'm like, "Go for it, and let me know when you host it. Maybe you can do mine for free. I can do yours for free. Something like that." Mhm. Mhm. They have yes, they have that option, but they also have Zoom, and it might be just those two. Yeah, theirs isn't antiquated enough to use. Like, I don't even think you can. I think you can record, but I didn't. They're not. They're not. They're new too. So I use Zoom because it's just Zoom has implemented AI and it's so cool right now. Um, but yeah. Oh, I've been on the YouTube page. I'm trying to learn everything. I'm like, they're making $1 million a month on here. Did you know that? On school? Yeah. 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 Listen, some people are just great. They're the Kobe and the LeBrons of whatever it is they're doing. That's me. No, I'm just kidding. That's me with the obituaries. But so yeah, I recommend it for sure. Any more questions? No? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for having me.